Welcome to Druid AI platform. I'm Matilda from Druid Academy. You'll often find me in the Academy courses, guiding and supporting learners. Today, however, I'm excited to take you on a quick tour of the Druid platform, highlighting its key features and functionalities. Let's get started. This presentation has two parts. In the first part, we will go through the main section of the menu, and in the second part, we will check some use cases about generative AI and large language models. Let's go ahead and check out Druid Platform's main menu. If you have any workspaces configured, they will show up here at the top of the menu. In these workspaces, we can create custom views, forms, and reports so that business users can easily interact with data that is gathered through the Druid Data Service or any other types of databases. You can open each item to see more details or to modify and perform different data handling automations. The next main component of our menu is the dashboard. This is the place where the analytics reside for each bot. Also, we can find the most important KPIs that monitor the usage of our virtual assistant. We can apply a date filter for which we want to visualize the data. Let's choose the last 30 days, a perfect way to organize data. With the KPIs Overview tab on top, followed by the Engagement tab with the top flow and messages that have been received. The Origin tab shows the sources or channels where our users have interacted with our virtual assistant, for example, mobile, website integration, or WhatsApp. Next tab is the Contact Center, where we find information about the live chat agent conversations, average duration, the type of feedback if it's positive or negative, and many more data about our direct interactions with the users. The Automations tab. Here, you can find some interesting reporting, mainly analytics that show which integration provided the most ROI, or which integration has been used the most. Also, it shows us the total cost savings, the revenues that have been produced, and the FTE that has been saved. All this functionality helps us improve our virtual assistants, making them more efficient and bringing more performance for our end users. Moving on from the dashboards, we have the Natural Language Understanding section. In the evaluation part, we can check how our assistant answered and how it has interacted with the users. Our confidence buckets mark how many answers were identified and matched with our current conversational flows, how many of them were found between the minimum threshold and the target, and how many of them were below our minimum threshold. We can also specify larger intervals here to check more data. If the users ask for something that is not available, we can see it right here in the lower part of the confidence bucket. Knowing this is important because we can rapidly match these intents with available flows, or we can create new flows to accommodate the new user desires. Going forward, we find the solution contents. Here, we have all the settings and configurations that make our virtual assistants function. Starting from the flows that we have created, the entities that we use, and the integrations with different systems. We also have our workspaces, our dashboards, and our live chat agents. Keep in mind that you can have multiple solutions for a single bot. Basically, the solution contents helps you organize all your components for any specific use case that you might have for your assistant. Part 2. Like we said at the beginning of the video, we are going to look now at one of the most used and most successful use cases, the knowledge base use case. Large language models combined with generative AI, combined with Druid. Knowledge base is an impressive capability of the Druid AI platform that provides tailored answers to the user based on the specific data sources that we select, upload, or crawl. To upload data sources, all you must do is go into the knowledge base section, click on Add New, and select one of the different types of data sources. You only need to set the parameters for the minimum threshold and the target match score. This way, you have full accurate control of the assistant's answers. After you select your data source, you also have available the knowledge base settings. You can choose different embeddings and models. You can play around with the search balance, meaning if you want more of a keyword type search, you can move this slider a little bit more to the right. If you desire more of a semantic search, you can move this a little bit more to the left. Okay, but how is this working? You may ask. Well, when a user asks a question, we use a combination of semantic and keyword-based search to identify the relevant information from the data source. All those results will build the context for GPT, which will be used to supply us with the definitive answer. Let's see an example. Let's open our virtual assistant. We are asking, what is auto insurance? Great. Our answer is right here. Now let's ask the same thing in our knowledge-based solution to see exactly how the Druid extraction works. We have identified these two answers relevant to our question. This will be fed to GPT and used to create the final response that we have here for the end user. You can easily import the knowledge-based solution right from the solution library. You can find it right here. And you can see the flows and components that come with it. All you must do is provide your own OpenAI endpoint and keys to have a successful connection for the APIs. Another solution using generative AI is natural language reporting. You can find it in the Druid solution library, just like any other solution. Let me start by showing you an example. We can ask questions that, instead of querying text-based information sources like knowledge base, can query SQL or other types of databases. This is done simply by asking the virtual assistant in a natural manner, without needing to know any programming languages. Natural language reporting converts the user's question into an SQL query using generative AI. Remember that you need to provide your credentials and your keys for this to work. What it does is it converts the user's question into an SQL query that extracts the information from the databases that you have integrated, transfers the information to GPT, and at the end, uses generative AI to provide a final response. Let me show you an example. What is the total sales value? What is the most sold item? These questions have been transformed seamlessly into SQL queries and processed by GPT to serve the user a natural response. We also have a special workspace where we can trace everything that happens with these GPT interactions. If you desire, you can open one of the items and check the prompt, the response, the query that has been created using generative AI, and the data context that has been used to provide the definitive answer. The flows for this solution can be found right in the Solution Contents menu. Click the flow to visualize and edit. To make it work, you just must provide your own description of the entities and fields that you will use. Here is an example. You can modify it for your own use case. Remember that you can find many more solutions in the Druid Solution Library. I also encourage you to create your own using any generative AI provider of your choosing. Thank you, and don't forget that we have a fresh new course in Druid Academy that is called Knowledge Base with GPT. See you soon!